everyone, it's time for my first update for my Pan That Palette 2016. I did do my introduction video about a month ago, so this is a month's worth of progress on my 3 little mini palettes that I have. I will be including, while I talk about each of the palettes, I will be including kind of the first introduction picture so you can see how I first started, and then a picture from this video so you'll have a little bit of a closer look at the progress that I've made with each of the shadows. So the first one I have is this Rimmel Glam Eyes. This is the Black Cab palette, and it has a really great variation of some smoky tones. So we've got some silvers, some darker kind of pewters, some blacks. They all are shimmers slash kind of some glittery shades. I have used 2 of the shades. These isn't really cute packaging, obviously. It's really adorable, but it's not super practical when it comes to like everyday use. So when I started getting a little bit lower on the shades, I did have to take like a bobby pin and kind of crush it into like a pigment, like a powder shadow, just so that I could use it a little bit easier because I was kind of distorting my brushes a little bit trying to get into those small areas. But I did use 2 of the shades. The first one was this little corner one, and it was over here. This is the same shade. It's a really nice dark, almost a black, but it's mostly just like a really dark like gray. And then the other one was a little bit darker than this bright silver, but still kind of a silver shade. So use both of those shades. Crushing it up unfortunately does waste some of the product just because, you know, it kind of blows away and stuff. But I rather waste a little bit and actually kind of get to it and not ruin my brushes that way. If you guys have any other suggestions on how to get into those shadows, then let me know. But otherwise, I just probably will use that technique and used up 2 shadows. There wasn't too much in each of those pans, so it wasn't crazy, but it's still crazy for me because eyeshadows are really hard to use up for me. And then I have this Maybelline Eye Studio. This is in Pink Punch, and this one I have really been loving. I've been trying to use all of the shades in different variations by themselves, or by themselves as a palette, or together with other palettes. This last month, mostly how I've been using it is this nice little lighter shade as a transition shade, because it's almost kind of like a matte, it's like a satin. Then I use this darker one usually as kind of like that smoky look on the outer third. This color I will either use to smoke out or as like a lid shade. And then this color I will either use as a lid shade or a pop of highlight in the inner corner. And I have really been liking the shimmery shade. I can't use it just out of the pan. What I do is I take my Fix Plus and I just do a little spritz in there, and then that kind of helps clean the product together so it's not super fallout, and then I pack that on the lid, and it is such a really beautiful, just kind of shimmery metallic look. So really been loving that shade, and as you can see, I have hit pan on it. I probably will use it up very soon. Last but not least, I have my MAC Intriguing Scarlet palette, and I've been using this quite a bit, at least one of the shades every single day. So for this palette, I've been using a lot. These 2 shades, I think I have hit a little bit more pan. I feel like I've been using it up a little bit more. I hit pan on it in a previous project pan, so that's why I already have such a dip in there. And then I have felt and seen a dip in this really beautiful kind of shimmery green color. Really been loving that on my lids. I did have to kind of scrape off a little bit of these 3 shadows just because I noticed, and I've noticed this with MAC mattes before, is there's kind of almost like a film on top, and so it's really hard to kind of get into the shadow. So I just did a really light scraping on each of those shadows just so that it has a little bit more of a nice powdery consistency. And so I have been using these 3 consistently, but you can't really see too much of a dip in there. They're really packed, so it's going to be really hard to use those up. How I've been using these shades the most this month is this color I use on the lid mostly. This one I use kind of as a transition color. In addition to this color, I sometimes mix these together or use one or the other. This color I use as a brow highlight, an inner corner highlight, or as a lid shade. The green I've been really loving with this green, putting those 2 together and having that kind of smoked out for like a nice green smoky eye. And then same with that burgundy shade, I usually use that to kind of smoke out the eye. That is my progress. I'm really happy about just the progress that I've seen so far just this month. I've been using at least a few of these shades every single day. Sometimes I will kind of just use one of my other palettes and kind of take a break from these, but for the most part, I'm usually using at least one of them as a transition shade or as a brow highlight or as a lid color, so that I am getting, you know, a variation of really sticking to these palettes as well as some other ones in my collection. So I really like the balance so far this first month. It is just the first month, so we'll see where I'm at like month 6 to see how I am with these shadows. But I really do like to see that a few of the pans are showing a little bit more. I have used up 2 of those little baby shades in that Rimmel palette, seeing that pan in the Maybelline Studio one. So really happy, excited to see what February brings. Let me know if you guys are doing a Pan That palette. Please, you know, comment down below so I can check it out. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in one of my next videos. Bye!